Doug, as soon as you sat down, the first thing I did was I plugged it into ChatGPT. The story about Roger, Scott, and RJ. And you know what ChatGPT said? It said, even AI chatbots have their limits, just like humans. So there you go. ChatGPT can empathize with its fellow AI chatbot. And I thought that was pretty funny myself. But anyway, that aside, when we come to your speech, it was entertaining, it was interesting, it was everything that we know about you and your capabilities. The objective of your speech was to understand your communication style. Well, there was absolutely nothing about communication styles in that speech, so let's just leave it at that. But we can say this. The one rule we have in this club is to be entertaining, to be interesting, to be gripping to the audience. And right from the outset, you captured the audience. When you got up here and you said, I just want to clarify that you are talking to a human being, you immediately suck us into your story. But that's where my first suggestion for improvement is going to come. Because I feel like that is an obvious statement to make. Because we all know you, I've poked you a couple of times, let's not tell people where, but I've poked you a couple of times, and I know you're a human being, sometimes in the eye, and you scream, so we know you're real. But maybe having a more explosive beginning, like, have you ever pissed off an AI agent? Something like that, right? Really gets us in. It really, like, what's going to talk about? Like an angry AI agent? I really loved the reference you made to imagine an AI army coming for you. Like that would be a great beginning, right? Imagine. And that word, imagine, just sucks us into speeches immediately. So that's the very first thing I would suggest. Your beginning was entertaining, it was gripping, it got us in, but it really did not connect very well to the rest of your story about AI agents and their own agency to actually interfere with human lives and reputations. But the thing that I did like about your speech, as I said, it was entertaining, it was interesting. And that's your skill. But the other thing that I want to suggest you improve is move away from the vagueness. Because you had this great story until you came to the point, well, what do we actually do about this? Like, how do we actually deal with these AI agents? Like, what's the human response? And you kind of came up with one or two ideas, like, hey, maybe we must look where we put our dollars. You don't have to be a big corporation. You don't have to be the government. But what was the specific suggestions? What are the specific actions we can take as a people? Where was the speech going? It's possible to say, and we have to accept it. There's absolutely nothing we can do. And then Jonathan will come up and talk about, well, how we can train our cognition. But beyond that, you can give a conclusion that says there's absolutely nothing we can do about it, right? We could do that. We don't always have to find that actionable thing that's going to fix this problem, because AI is going to be here forever. So it's okay to end on that. But I would say, like, keep the storytelling. Man, you're funny, you're engaging, you've got the audience the whole time. Keep that in. Get rid of a little bit of that vagueness. Have a clear objective to it, and just think of a slightly different beginning. But great speech. Back to the real non-chatbot GE.